Say hopa. Greetings, everybody. I hope you are doing well and having an awesome evening. You had a productive work day. My face will pop up here in a bit, but thank you very much for joining this second session of the REZ BIZ sessions. And like I explained this morning, we had a couple of guests. This is the second interview of the day, and I'm very happy to have these champions on board. So once again, we are highlighting Kuwait champions who are making moves in the world of entrepreneurship. From various styles of jewelry, traditional, contemporary pottery, graphic t-shirts, photography, videography, food truck stands, massage therapy, maintenance, traditional, contemporary Pueblo clothing, etc. And you know what? Kuwait are doing it. So again, in tonight's REZ BIZ session, we are going to highlight some Kuwait entrepreneurs, and we're going to touch on these subjects of what is their business history, highlights and challenges of their business, current inventory or menu, upcoming events and sales, and words of encouragement for existing, future entrepreneurs, and words for the community. So once again, my name is Leroy Buster Silva. I am the Executive Director for the Laguna Community Foundation, and I'm very happy you're here spending some time with us. So whether you're eating right now, you're on the road, so be careful if you're on the road, or other, you're just hanging out, chilling out. So we're very happy you're here. So like I mentioned before, this is our second interview of the day, and we're very excited. We had a great visit with Keith and Margarita. So if you didn't see their interview on the rewind, you can go down on our page. It's there for quite some time. So learn more about their business and what they're doing, but also to learn about the history of the reason why. Why did they go the route that they did? So you'll be quite surprised of some of the things they mentioned today. So let's move on. Let's go into our next session with some amazing people. So Mike and Twy live in the village of Insanel. Michael works as an engineer consultant for utilities and energy companies, and Twy is a mental health professional. Together, they own the Big Sun Brew Company. So put your sausages together and please welcome to the virtual stage, Michael and Twy Benulito. Oops. I didn't push the button to turn it on, So Twy and Michael Manuelito. The spelling messes me up right there. So what's up, guys? How's your evening?
Hey, Buster.
Hi, Buster.
Good. Well, thank you very much for joining us. I know it was a last minute. We tried to get you on yesterday, but I'm glad that we found some time quick. And like I mentioned before, I wanted to highlight you all. We did a short video at the feast day, and I didn't get to make that into a video. So I'm very happy you get to be on here live to kind of share what your business is, some of the history, like I mentioned before, and some of the highlights, because you guys have been very popular. People's getting their drinks on, and feast days, things like that. So that's the reason why you're here. So welcome. So I'm going to turn it over to both of you. Introduce yourself the way you want to, and then I'll have some questions for you. So take it away.
Okay. Hi. So my name is Twania, but everyone knows me as Twy. I'm from the Pueblo of Acoma, and never ever did I think I'd make my home in Laguna, but 12 years ago, I met Michael, and Insanel Village is where we make our home. We have 3 boys, and we're just really happy to be here. It's exciting to talk to you, Buster, and share a little bit more about our journey, our story, and business. Thank you.
Good everybody I'm glad everybody's here today to join us and hear about our journey with our company. And yes, my name is Michael Manuelito. I am the staff officer for the village of Insanel, and the second Fiscali for the Pueblo of Laguna. So thank you for having us, Buster, and I look forward to continuing this relationship and this partnership with us. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you very much, Twy and Mike, for joining us too. So I know you're busy. You're probably working hard today, and plus two, you have kids. So thank you very much. So I know it's a lot to just cut out some time to be with us. So thanks. I hope the kids are fed. No, I'm just kidding. We have like royalty. So we have a staff officer. You're making history. You're the first staff officer on these live streams. So congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, let's jump into the business part of it. So like I mentioned before, I've seen pop-ups, I've seen you on splash across social media. So obviously, with every business, with every venture, with every big idea, there has to be a purpose. So the first question I'm going to ask you is why this company? Why coffee? Why pop-ups? Why do you do what you do? And going back to, when did this idea first pop in your heads?
Well, really, we've been talking, and we had talked about this for a few years now about how there's no good coffee here on the reservation in Laguna or Acoma. I mean, our choices are the gas stations within Acoma and Laguna. So everybody knows how the gas station coffee tastes. It's bitter. It doesn't have any flavor to that. So we were thinking about, like, maybe we need to have a coffee shop here. And it wasn't until the beginning of this year when I was put into office for Laguna as a staff officer, and I was asked to leave my job at Pueblo of Acoma at the utility authority. Um, and so at that time I wasn't working, so I was like, let's do something, let's develop something. I said, I want to do this. So I had this free espresso machine that my mother had gifted us, I guess, from her free gifts
Casino
from the
gifts.
casino.
Nice.
And so I started messing around with it, making some espressos and lattes and cappuccinos, things like that. And I started posting it on my social media feed and saying, well, who would like this or who would try this? And eventually I started moving on to, like, oh man, I should try this. I should try this. So I talked Twy into buying an upgraded espresso machine, which we did off of Amazon, and we got some cups, we got some flavors and everything like that. And by the meantime, while we were waiting for that, I was developing a business plan. I started writing out a business plan, developing the budget that it was going to take, the startup costs, things like that. What were our menu, what we were gonna sell, where we are gonna sell, who I had to ask, things like that. Locations, also, and also the concept. and and I'm not sure if everybody knows or everybody can agree with this, but a lot of people come to Ensenada to get the water because of the taste of the water. So, and everybody can probably agree that they love the coffee the coffee that comes from making it with Ensenada water. So we took that concept and said, okay, let's do that. Let's sell it as we're using the delicious water of Ensenada to brew this coffee, which we are. And when we go to pop-up shops or we have a session, we do take the water with us, because that's what we base it around of, that everything is made with Ensenada water. So
Mhm.
that's kind of where our selling point is. And when everybody tastes it, they're like, wow, this does taste good. Um, and that's how we started. Just started off slow, and then from there we went to, okay, this is really picking up. Let's think about expanding. By that time I was like delivering coffee every day, Monday through Friday, and then just having the weekends off. And like, no, we got to do this on the weekends as well. And sure enough, we were doing it on weekends, and people were stopping by. We were set up on a tent right by Old Laguna Post Office. People were stopping by, and then when one windy day, our tent blew away. So we
Hey.
ended up using our RV. We pulled our RV down there, and mind you, I did go through the proper the proper channels of asking the Laguna Marumas if it was okay to sell and things like that, which they were really pleased, because they said nobody's ever asked for that. And I just felt that it would be respectful for me to do that, for us to do that. So this is where we did that. But in the long run, we built a plan around small growth, and eventually leading into where we're at today, and then with some future endeavors. So I think that's kind of where we've been.
Right. Yeah. So not only like his passion to want to sell coffee, but there was just that gap in service. You'd either have to stop and get out of your car and go into the gas station, or the Starbucks at Sky City Casino. Like, that's kind of a hassle to, park your car, go in, and depending on how many workers there are, you have to wait some time to get a cup of coffee. And so just identifying that gap, and that's just, how he was able to come up with this idea and this plan. And so far, it's been great.
Nice. And that's funny. That's so shout out to Trudy for putting in all those bucks at the casino.
For sure, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, for sure.
that's a cool story. Like I said, just that's the reason why we're doing this, because people don't know that backstory. People don't know the struggle, or how the what are they the humble beginnings of what's to come, and how everything progressed from there. So thanks for sharing that, Mike, um, and contributing in there, Twy, as well. So Twy, this one's directly to you. With any, and I mentioned this when before we got started too, is when I was going over some of these questions, is that sometimes, especially with food and drink, sometimes I think for me, this is the reason why I don't cook as much. And just that when I was getting started, it's like, man, I said I can cook for myself, but if I cook for other people, I'd be a little nervous to see, just will people like it? Will people do this? Things like that. So this question is for you. What are those in your moments you had to get out of your head? Because what I mean by that is sometimes when we overthink things, or we second guess ourselves, even though we're passionate about something. What are those moments in your head that you had to get over to launch this coffee business?
Okay. So when Michael was first making coffee, the iced coffees from the house, one of those moments was like the look of it. So we use these clear cups, and he was making the drinks earlier than like delivery time. And so of course, like the ice is gonna melt. And so it just kind of gave it a really watery look. And that was one of the ones like, no, don't serve it like that. Wait till you're gonna leave in like 5 minutes, then you make it. So that was a moment where he's like, "And no, it'll be okay," and it did. It actually did turn out to be okay. And he's not the overthinker. He's just like, let's do it. I'm gonna make it. Let's be efficient. Let's deliver it. But
Yeah.
that was just something that my thing of the look of it. Putting a good product out there so that way
Yes.
it tastes as it or it tastes as good as it looks.
Yes, exactly. And Mike, what are some of those moments you had, if you had any, like coffee on the res? Let's do
Uh,
it. Or did you, again, you talked about using instant water, and I think that was, kind of like the
yeah,
catalyst
I
of doing
wanted
it.
to make sure that we always stick to that. Even the ice, making the ice from instant water, things like that. But also being consistent with our products, being this consistent of the grinding of the coffee, as well as the consistency of the type of syrups that we use. We do offer regular sugar and as well as sugar-free syrups. So those are the types of things that we wanted to do. And and at the start, we started with, should we sell monsters? Should we sell uh, Red Bull? And we did, but those aren't selling. It was
Yeah.
amazing. Like people didn't want to buy that, so I was okay. Let's just stick to the coffee. So we eventually went and expanded to teas, flavored teas, because there's nobody who has that as well. I mean, it's
Mhm.
all about either the lemonade or the slushy or the Piccadilly or just about anything else but coffee and tea. So we have friends and family that post nothing but Starbucks coffees. I got my Starbucks fix, or I went to Dutch Bros today. Dutch Bros has hit the spot or on point and all that stuff. And it's like, and all that kept resonating in my mind. Like, man, we really need to have something like that here.
Nice. Yeah, and going off of this too, I think on the same let me switch over to your cameras. So so going off of what your mindset was, the need for it, but also to being observant to what's out there already. And so obviously, how are you going to compete against these big corporations and just a startup? So I can see where things may have gotten maybe intimidating, or you wanted to definitely put out a nice product where just like what Twy said, is that make it look good. And I really feel and that's where all of these whether it's the type of cup you're using, whether, whether straws are involved or, things like that, just a presentation. So thank you for mentioning that. So going on to this, how has your menu, how has your setup and your menu changed since you launched?
Well, our setup has changed very, very much. I mean, we went from using the free espresso machine to one that I bought on Amazon to now where I actually bought an expensive, one of the top end espresso machines from Italy, where I went online, did the research, found one where I could use it, and it was I shipped it here. So that's where that comes from.
Yeah.
And then also just learning, just teaching ourselves, how to do the different things, understanding the history, I guess the science behind it. Like she did a bunch of uh, background or studying on the different types of teas, the green teas, the black teas, the gray teas, the different types of teas we should use. Same with me with the coffee. What coffees are gonna blend well for espresso? Same
Yep.
thing with the syrups. So it was all about that, moving into that and deciding we need to move to this type of syrup. We need to stick to this type of 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 espresso mix. I mean mix coffee bean, because we grind our own coffee as well here too.
Yeah.
So we needed to dial it into that specific portion. So from that to the machine work, also to the expansion of, like I said, I went from just delivering to everybody during the mornings, because I wasn't working, so I would like take them all the way to like the middle schools, to the jail, to just anywhere, travel building, all that. I was doing that, so I was delivering them to just about anybody and everybody who ordered coffee, because that's one thing I did do too. I'm a tech wizard, so I built a web page already. I built a web page where you could order online, and it'll send me a message to say you have an order, and I would do that as well. But also I've also built two web pages. One is a web page where you could actually see our menu. Another one is where you could actually order from there. So those are different areas where we expanded on that. And then moving from delivering to actual stationary locations.
Yeah.
Like we did some purchasing of some equipment, the tent, a generator, water filtration systems, things like that, so we can be mobile. And then from there we were like, wow, we should do a mobile. We should build a mobile. So we went ahead and one of my godparents, Grace and Harry Early, they had a old casita RV. It's like an egg. What we did was we went over there and I asked them. I said, "Well, can you sell it to us? We're gonna do this to that. This is my plan." They're like, sell it? No, go ahead, take it. I said, take it. We haven't used it in like 30 years or whatever. So I did. So I'm still slowly rebuilding it. I tore everything out of it so far. So I think it's just about um, designing what we're going to put inside and then building it, and then that way we'll be mobile. We'll be able to travel all over. So
That's a future business plan, is to be able to go to different villages, set up in the mornings, maybe even different pueblos, different events, different, throughout New Mexico, where there are a lot of different activities going on in tribal communities. And so we just love to be a part of that and, provide service and provide good tasting coffee and teas.
Yes. Awesome. And I'll be right there too. So I love coffee. So thank you for sharing. So if you're just joining us too, we have Twy and Michael Manuelito. They are the owners of Big Sun Brew Company. So they've been answering some questions in regard to the history of their company, some of the moves they are making in regard to upscaling some things, changing their menu, things like that. So again, this is the REZ Biz session number 2. So we're very happy to have Twy and Michael along. So going on with our interview. So you mentioned some of the things that you had to do, observe, what other people are doing, other businesses are doing, kind of create your own, the purpose behind using Instant water. So what are those popular menu items? If you could give me maybe, what are your top 3 best sellers on your menu list of
The
drinks?
iced cappuccino, we named our teas. So like the bad mama jamma, that is like a strawberry watermelon tea. That those two are the most popular. And then I guess the third popular would be just iced coffee. So iced cappuccinos, the tea, the bad mama jamma, and then iced coffees. Those are the three main popular drinks that we sell a lot of.
Nice. And
Yeah.
and have you I'm sure you ran into this. So obviously, our elders, they do. I'm a elder. I just love straight black coffee. So I know there's a lot of our people that love straight black coffee. Have they? How much education do you have to give as far as this is what this drink you might like this one? How much of education or a walkthrough do you have to do with your customers?
So yeah, definitely they'll ask, do you have it's creamer? Like they're expecting creamer. And I just tell them, we have half and half, we have whole milk, almond milk, and then we have different flavors, the syrups, like caramel, vanilla, French vanilla. So not too much, but after they taste it, then they understand the concept that, it does taste like how they want it to taste.
Yeah.
I just show them the flavors and they understand the concept and they get it and they're like, "Oh, this is good."
Yeah, and then some. I mean, like we said, they like it black, like you. I mean, so we give it to them that way. So it's pretty much, if they want it some way, we give it to them that way.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It's not. We don't necessarily have to have it the way we have it stated on our menu.
Right.
So,
We can make like a signature drink. So sometimes people come up and, this is what I ask them, what do you normally get from like Starbucks or Dutch Bros? And then they tell me, oh yeah, we can make that.
Yeah.
So just the different flavor combinations, but it still tastes the same.
Yeah.
Same flavor combinations. Just asking them, what their preference is, and like Mike said, we don't necessarily always have to. You don't have to order just off the menu. We can make, what you like.
So you have a secret menu.
yeah.
Secret menu. Um, what is the funniest drink title you have? The drink name you have?
The bunny.
No, I think it's the Bad Mama Jamma because a lot of people have laughed at that.
Yeah, because somebody's actually said, "Can I have the baby mama drama?"
Hey. I
No,
don't.
they thought it said that, and I'm like, "No, it's Black Mama Jamma." They've actually thought it said that.
Yeah.
That's probably the funniest one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, we
Wow.
have some other things in line that we're looking at. We're looking at expanding.
Yeah.
On the different flavors. But right now, I think we're okay. I mean, with the local people, the community, they've understood that with our coffee and our teas that we don't have to get too extravagant. We don't have to get too bougie for this. It's about the good quality taste.
Yes. And I'm going to put a challenge out there to our listeners, our viewers right now. Come up with, if you were to create a drink, what would be the name of it? And Twy
Yeah.
and Mike, at the end of this session, you guys can pick the best, and whoever wins, I will buy you a cup of whatever um, drink you want whenever they pop up. So I'll have to throw you
Yeah.
some cash. So again, if you had a drink to name, our viewers, listeners, even if you're watching this on the rewind. So obviously, if you're on the rewind, you won't be able to get that because Mike and Twy will be picking at the end of this show. So what would be the name of the drink you would name? So ready and go. Pop it up in the comments. We'll go back to that later. Okay, going on to the next one. So obviously you do pop-ups. So what other services does Big Sun Brew Company provide?
We do catering. We've had some local business that have reached out to us to cater. They've had some like appreciation, like employee appreciations, or just
Meetings or
our
like staff
meetings. Yeah,
meetings.
meetings that they wanted us to come in and
Host, yeah.
host. Yeah, so we did that. And so Twy would also bake some baked goods as well. So we've had a number of requests or inquiries about that. So we've been happily obliged to those.
Yeah. And what is your and if we have any people who are department heads or they I don't know want to have it their next feast day bash, what is the process? So how would they if I say if I wanted to I'm hosting a I don't know a meeting. I'm hosting a get together. I want Big Sun Brew Company to be there. What would be that process for them to get a hold of you?
They can either get a hold of me through get a hold of us through Facebook or Instagram. We do have both of those. You can also Google us. We do have our contact information. We do have our Yelp page as well. So we have all that, and then we also have an email called bigsunbrew@gmail.com where they can reach out to us for inquiries about those types of events that they are wanting.
Awesome. So again, you can always watch this on the rewind, folks. But Mike just mentioned how you can get a hold of them. So if you're hosting a dinner party, lunch party, meeting at your organization, you can hire them to do that. So obviously, go into the next one. So we talk about business. So you don't do this on the full time, correct?
Correct. No, I don't. No,
All right.
I
So
use
you have careers, you have um, other things to do, and so that's something I want to ask you about. So you are parents, you are community members, you have community responsibilities. Michael, Twy, you work at a school. All of these things, all the hats that you wear. So making time for this coffee company, how do you do it? How do you all do maintain your careers and then do a business on top of that? So tell us, what's your secret sauce?
That's a good question because sometimes we often wonder the same thing. How do we
yeah.
have energy to do this? But it's just a matter of planning, knowing, what future weekends we're going to sell, what events we're going to sell at. And our boys are really good about wanting to be involved and help. They'll help load up stuff. They'll make sure that we have everything. And same with us, we have our checklist, making sure that we have everything that we need the day that we sell. Sometimes we forget things, but that's just part of, trying to keep everything in line and organized. But there's just, yeah, so much going on. We do have really busy lives, but it's just a matter of planning, really. Yeah, like what day are we going, make a list of the things we need, make sure we have enough inventory, enough supplies, enough syrup, enough cups, enough milk. I'm usually the one doing the shopping for all of the items that we need. And I don't we just make a really good team. Yeah, we just, it works. It just
Yeah,
works. We have a system. And yeah, we get the kids involved, and they're really helpful. They
Mm,
really are.
yeah.
yeah,
They're good salesmen.
Yeah, there's a education piece in there. They'll want to collect the money and give the change. And yeah, it's just really fun to provide that type of experience for them because, not too, not so shortly after we started, our 8-year-old was wanting to, like, Mom, I'm going to start my own business. Like, this is what I'm thinking. And I'm like, oh, that's so great. You do that. You own a business.
yes. And I think that's very exciting too. And I'm a big believer. No matter whether it's health or business or anything like that, our kids will do what they see and say what they hear. I'm a big believer about that. And two, you guys are showing. And we talk about we don't talk enough about generational wealth. As far as how can this lead to, like you said, your son's already talking about owning a business. Plus two, if you scale up or this coffee company goes on for many years, that you have something to pass on to your kids. So to make their own money, things like that. So I feel that that's a great start. So I feel that that's something other than a business, you're setting your kids up for success in the future and to dream big. So thank you for sharing that, and it's cool to see those pictures of your kids involved in the business as well. So their little aprons and counting money, things like that. So we talked about work life balance, and so obviously there's some people out there too that they're doing that hustle as well, and some have to hustle a little bit more than others and making things work. So thank you for sharing a little bit about your business, the history of it, some of those the challenges, but also too just the upscaling that you all did. And it's nice to see your growth over the past year. And obviously there's people who love your stuff, who love your drinks, and continue to go back and support you. So going back to the question I asked, if you had a drink, audience, what would you name it? We have one participant here, Kristen Riley. Her title is Small Sip of Heaven. So she's the only one so far. We have a few minutes left of of this live broadcast. So those of you who want to participate, and again, the winner gets a free drink from me whenever the next pop-up is for Big Sun Brew Company. All right. Hey, I got another one. Sock it to me. Okay, we got two: small sip of heaven and sock it to me. All right, so keep them coming. I'm going to ask the last question. All right, Mike and Twy, what words of encouragement do you have for existing or future entrepreneurs and the community? And I will turn the mic over to you.
Write it down. It's better to see it on paper, and to have a plan. It doesn't have to be the most business savvy type of plan. It doesn't have to be you don't have to have a, like I said, yeah, just write it down. I mean, for you to see it on paper, it's going to be tough at start, but as long as you have that home support, that family support, that support there to guide you, then yes, I mean, it's going to work out. For us, it was like we supported each other's. We, with me being out of work, we had to we had to figure something out. I wasn't gonna give up there and not have any way of making any type of income. Sure, we had to spend some of the money to create the inventory, to create to buy the equipment, but it was there. So I think that was probably the best thing that we did. Starting this. I mean, we went through the steps to make it official. So I think
Right. Yeah. And it was almost like a push because he was out of work and he really wanted to contribute to the household income. He felt terrible, but it was just a passion that grew out of our struggle. So, and I'm reading this book called Atomic Habits, and the author talks about the value of making small improvements on a daily basis. So, like Michael was saying, we often convince ourselves that massive success requires massive action. But if we can change our perspective and improve at least 1% a day, that adds up over the days, and you'll see a growth out of that. So the small changes can be being passionate about what you want to do, surrounding yourself with people who will challenge you, appreciating your people who you want to go into business with or who you want to cultivate your idea with, always considering your customer's point of view, appreciating your competitors and appreciating your supporters, and being open to feedback and having a plan. Those would be my advice for those small changes to see a lot of growth. And I think we have an idea and we want it to happen fast overnight, and that wasn't the case with us. It wasn't overnight. It was just a building step by step, and lo and behold, we have something that we were passionate about.
Yeah, I was frustrated the first couple of weeks because I would sell maybe 4 or 5 cups, a week maybe. But then as it grew and grew, then I started like, oh man, how am I gonna deliver this? Like one person would buy like 10 cups of coffee, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this? And I got to get back and start making more. So
Right. That was the one order. He had a 17 drink order one morning from St. Joseph's School.
Hey.
That was like his second week of working, and
yeah, so I was struggling there, but in a way it helped me grow and helped me think like, oh, I need something to help carry all this. So I started developing things of like, I'm an engineer, so I ended up devising a carrying system for like large orders like that. So I did.
Nice. Well, so definitely I'm gonna hit the applause button. Thank you very much, and we can talk about this all night. We could talk about and so I think that, like I said, one of the takeaways that I'm taking away is just the history. So I'm gonna go back to that free coffee maker from your mom that made just that first step. and from there it just blossomed. So I love stories like that, and definitely your place in space too of just wanting to do something more, but more so because you are like passionate about it. There's business a part of it, there's family a part of it. The community came together to support you, so all of that. You could write a book about that, you could make a video. Who will play you? Hey, who's the actor that will play you, Mike? Yeah, so like I said, so big ups to both of you, and just the moves you've been making with your business. So again, the whole purpose of this is to get that history, to find for people to know that your passion, but more so where to find you, and to how do they support you. And the main reason why we're doing this is obviously because Goikame are, we're innovative, we're doing the big things around the world, and more so there's going to be a lot of shopping happening within the next few weeks because of Christmas and going into January. That's how, supporting our local entrepreneurs is huge, because again, I made a post this morning about the purpose and the reason why you should shop local and support our local artists, businesses. So thank you very much. And you're part of that movement too, Michael and Twy. So thank you very much for sharing that. So we got two things to do. So, Mike, Twy, do you have any shout outs? And then we're gonna get to the names, because they are popping up here.
Yeah, first, I think you would be able to play me. I mean, I know it would be hard, a hard role, but you can do it. No, I just want to thank. I just want to thank my parents. For backing us on this. They're like coffee. They're like really. And then after they saw it growing up, then they're like really getting into it as well too. So I really appreciate what they've done for us. And since like I said, I wasn't working, and just helping in those type of areas. Being able to help set up for us, or even just be our bank, I guess, like to almost like purchase, but then while we make money, we give back. So it's kind of like they were a bank for us to do that, to
Like
start
a lender.
to start that. So that without them, we would never be able to do this. I mean, we are sure we use up most of our money, but they helped with some of it too as well.
Mhm.
And of course, Twy, without her, I would have ever push this through. I mean, it was something that was like a pipe dream, I guess you could say. And it was like, are you crazy? You're gonna start a coffee business here on the res? And now it's like where we're at. I mean, we're not even a year later. I mean, we could go back. We looked at our sales, and it's like, wow, like just a little less than a year, and this is what we're doing. I mean, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I just want to thank everybody there, as well. Everybody who's
Mhm.
bought from us, everybody who spread the word. I really appreciate you. I hope that everything that you pray for and ask for is given to you tenfold.
Twy, any shout outs?
Shout outs to all our customers, our frequent flyers. Yeah, just thank you for always stopping by and visiting our pages and showing up. Even if you just come by and say hi and talk to us, like when we set up the RV, like our little canopy was out there in the summertime, people would just drop by and talk with us. It was really, really neat. It was just like a little, like a cafe spot for people to come and relax and just talk with us. So yeah, our customers, like, thank you so much, and we appreciate you taking a chance on trying our coffee, and keep coming back. We really do appreciate you guys, and some I could probably there's probably like five that I could name on the top of my head, that frequently come, and I know your drink order. So
Nice. Yeah, that's what matters. That's just a little bit for them to keep going. So the drink order and the name and their clan
mhm.
probably.
Right. Yeah.
So one last thing we got to do. So I'm like I said, I'm buying the drink, some type of drink. So y'all just need to make a choice. So we'll start from the top. So Kristen Riley, she has small sip of heaven. So positive vibes to you, Kristen. Thank you for joining us. Next one is Sock It To Me. Sock It To Me. And man, Miss Martinez went off on this one. So Little Brave Coffee, After Your Boys. Next one is Rising Sun, Ryan Aragon. Another one for Miss Martinez is Hopa, Cup of Coffee. Next one is Philip Marmolejo, the
Hey.
stovepipe. Dang, you know, it has some stories behind it. Ms. Martinez again. Quandame? Is that how you say it? Quandame Brew?
Uniqueness and carrots. Uniqueness and carrots.
And Diane Ortiz, Morning Delight. Miss Martinez again. Man, she is off going off right now. Mountain Coffee. Philip Marmolejo. I'm a bit silly. And Sasquatch Delight. These can be food items as well. Bean There Coffee. Martinez again. And Lenora just wants to share some love. Philip again. Goikame Kano. And then Shamaz Goe or Chase Goe. All right. Phone lines are cut off. That's the last one. So, so Twy and Michael, you're gonna have to do the hard selection. Who wins tonight? You might have to chop down Miss Martinez down to one name. So give you about 20 seconds. Talk it over. 19, 18, 17. You're on mute, so they won't hear you. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, who wins?
Rising Sun.
Rising Sun. All right, let's go back to that. Who is that? Rising Sun. All right, Mr. Ryan Aragon, you are the winner for tonight. They're going to make you your own Rising Sun during the time. So at your next pop-up, this is my last question for y'all. When can we expect Big Sun Brew Company to be to have a pop-up?
We're planning on doing that for the month of December. Now, just trying to get it because she'll be on vacation for our break, summer or Christmas break. I'm sorry. So we're looking at having it month of December, a few days in a row. I think that's probably going to be something that where people are already going to be selling as well there by where we're always at. Selling their goods and their crafts for the Christmas holiday. So we want to make sure that everybody has a cup of coffee or some tea while they're doing that shopping locally.
Nice. Awesome, everybody. Well, take a look. Again, you can follow them on the different platforms. So social media, Facebook, Instagram. Do you TikTok yet?
No, we don't do that yet.
Yeah, turn it over to your boys to do that.
One more shout out.
Yeah.
So I want to give a shout out to you, Buster. Like, I really appreciate you providing this platform for entrepreneurs and people from the REZ to just talk about their experiences and their stories. And this is just another level of community involvement that, we appreciate you doing. And we're just so humble and honored to have this conversation with you. Thank you. You're doing good. You're doing an awesome job.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And this is the whole reason why we're doing this is that, I have the means of this technology and, I love uplifting people. I love uplifting our community and, for various reasons. So last year, a week ago, we were talking about athletes. We were talking about, just creatives and professionals. And now we do get to do entrepreneurs. So like I said, Goikame, Akumed, we're all doing wonderful things in the world and it needs to be highlighted. We need to celebrate one another. And it comes a point too that, amplifying our voices and our creativity and our genius, we need to do that more rather than as you well know, there's a lot of negative things going on in the world too. So, we need to, be strong, but also to acknowledge and let people know that we're there for them. So again, this is my way of being there for you all, uplifting your voices and your creativity. So thank you for being innovative and taking that healthy risk because it's turning out beautiful. So congratulations to you both. So with that, I'm going to throw you peace sign. I'm going to put you back in the green room and we'll close tonight out. So All right. So folks, tonight was one of those nights, like I said, I worked hard today, and had an interview this morning. But this is what it comes down to. This is what giving back to community looks like. Even though we may not be in person, but this is the way to amplify that creativity, amplify the genius of Goikame. So again, this is 4K BK for Goikame by Goikame, because again, going back to that genius, going back to that innovation that we all possess and that we all see on a daily basis, whether you work within the borders of the reservation or you live off the reservation, your connection to the community, so we all can find some way to uplift one another. And so again, this is a way for us to do that through this REZ biz. Is that we've grown up. I've grown up seeing people who were I didn't know they were entrepreneurs because I was so young. I didn't know what entrepreneurship was. For example, my uncle Halshe, he had the Take a Break. He was always selling and hustling, making trophies and T-shirts. And I said, hey, that's just Uncle Haas. He likes making all that stuff and things like that. And lo and behold, he was in the game already of entrepreneurship. So growing up and seeing that was inspirational for me. And I see each and every one of you, my friends and relatives, who've been selling your crafts, who've been making food for a very long time, who've been scaling up to food trucks, but also to online shopping, things like that, graphic artists, making pottery, contemporary clothing, all of that. So again, I'm very excited that people have been reaching out. So again, if you know somebody, if you want to nominate somebody, or if you have a business, please hit us up. Email me at admin@lagunacf.org. Again, admin@lagunacf.org if you want to partake in the REZ Biz sessions. So again, it's all about learning the history, learning highlights and challenges, current inventory and the menu items, upcoming events that you're going to be at, but more so, what words do you have for our community, even if people are barely just starting out, just an idea of entrepreneurship, or they've been in the game for a very long time. So once again, this is REZ Biz Sessions, and I'm very happy that Mike and Twy from Big Sun Brew Company were able to join me today. And like I said, I'm leaving with my heart is happy, and I know that I learned a lot about their journey. So thank you very much to them for cutting out some time to be with us. And I'm going to pop up we have some people making some shout outs. So Lenora, sending love from Florida. I want to give you a shout out too. Thank you, Miss Martinez, for all of your comments. Diane Ortiz. Ryan Aragon. Ryan Aragon again. All right. And that's another entrepreneur too. He has a stand outside of his house. So brother, email me. I want to highlight you and your wife. So I'll be waiting for an email for you. So with that, everybody, please take care. Have a great night. Get some great sleep, and we'll see you again. Please be on the lookout for our next REZ Biz session with a Kuwait entrepreneur who will be joining us and sharing more about their business. So until then, take it easy.